Whew, okay. This video is really, I guess, tough for me to make. It feels like releasing a part of me that's been hidden for years, that I've been ashamed of, that no, me myself didn't even want to admit that I was addicted, that I was hooked, that I wasn't okay. And I used all these substances, all these behaviors to run, to hide, to feel okay, to pretend I was okay. And I'm so, so grateful that I found a place away from this, a place away from addiction, and now can say that I'm back in control and I'm back sober. I really wanted to make this video just to share my experience, to make this real for myself in a sense, and to encourage you to heal through your own problems, your own addictions. I want to go into more detail on future videos of like maybe like more in depth of like each addiction and how I think that I fell into the addictions and all that. But I just founded this video to be very just kind of broad on the topic of like we're all addicted to something and we all run to something and we all cope with something. And it's just like realizing that for ourselves and like coming home to just to be truthful to ourselves, to be like, hey, like I'm running with alcohol every day, every second day. I'm smoking way too much weed. I'm watching way too much porn. I'm having meaningless casual sex. I'm, whatever it may be for you, whatever substance you're using. Like, I feel like when we always sit down with ourselves and we actually sit with ourselves, we really know when we're lying to ourselves. And the problem is we can be so tricky, right? The problem is we can be so tricky and we can be so we can act like our addiction is helping us, but it's not. So, yeah, what are you using? What are you doing that's hurting yourself? And why are you using it to cope? What are you running from? You're running from yourself? It sure was. Addiction's a funny thing. It comes in slow and it takes time, and then little do you know, you wake up one day and you're like, I need a vape. I need to watch porn. I need to smoke weed. You form all these dependencies around these destructive patterns in our lives. And we lose clarity, we lose focus. And it's like we just like fall so far from ourselves. And it hurts. It really hurts to like see ourselves in that light of like, wow, instead of chasing the dreams I have in my heart, I tell myself I'm not worthy and I numb myself with this weed. I numb myself with this porn. I numb myself with this drink. Life doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna party and you know we use these behaviors, we use these substances as a cop out, as like a denial of like what's truly in us, and as an escape because it's like this is what I used to do. Like this might I'll give you a share of my experience here is like instead of dealing with the problems in my life, instead of becoming a better person, I would smoke weed and feel better. I would feel better. Short term. In the short term, I would feel much better. All my problems would go away. But it was just like sweeping things under the rug, right? And it was like, am I actually growing? Am I actually healing? Am I just avoiding the unavoidable? And it's just kind of realizing there came to a point, I think most people who give up addictions, and myself included, is like you come to a point where you're just like the monster under the bed becomes so big and you just can't run anymore. You don't want to run from it anymore because you're like, I don't want to live a life like this. I don't want to live a life running and hiding and acting like this doesn't exist. And using these substances and behaviors to delude myself into feeling okay. I want you to know that it's okay to feel helpless in your addiction and to feel like it's going to be a really hard journey, because it is. You've been using this to escape yourself for 10, 21, like 1, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Like, it's going to be very painful. It's going to suck. But I can assure you, like the light on the other side of the tunnel, of the clarity, the focus, the self-confidence that you gain from getting your life back, not being a slave, not being a slave to the fast food, to the vapes, to the porn, to the weed, to the alcohol, to the drugs, to the sex, to this, to that, to that. That's the goal. Just to return home. Because, I think drugs steal this like raw joy from life from you. And you forget that life has all this inherent beauty, joy, meaning, and clarity within it. But because we've smoked so much weed or vape all the time and drink, we forget that. We scroll, all these things. We fuck up our brains. Our reward systems are so fucked up that, we don't experience that. So we think the drugs are helping. We think the drugs are helping. They're not. They're keeping us in the cage. Don't get me wrong here. I'm okay. I think that certain drugs at a certain time for the certain person in a certain setting can be very beneficial under, certain conditions, where that person uses it ceremoniously to, gain perspective. I think that can be very powerful. And I've had experiences like that myself. Problem is, like, again, our mind can hijack these things, take them, and all of a sudden, we're justifying our use of them on the daily or whatever, doesn't even have to be daily, but you get the point. In closing, it's been 1 year since I made the commitment to myself that I was not going to abuse drugs, wasn't going to choose porn over my partner. I wasn't going to lie to myself anymore. I wasn't perfect through that year. I think I relapsed like 5 times. But the difference was each of those relapses, it was just a reminder to myself that, hey, this is not what I want. I'm just acting out a pattern. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling scared. I'm running to this thing again. It's not actually what I want. It's not actually what I need. I'm not going to hold guilt and shame and then keep this cycle going. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to laugh at myself a little bit. I'm going to heal. Oh God, am I going to heal? And I'm going to be the better person because of it. And I'm going to help others. And I'm not going to be stuck in this forever. I'm much, much greater and stronger than this affliction, addiction. And I want so much more for my life. I want so much more for your life as well. Because I know that you right here watching this are beautiful, strong, capable, and full of love, full of light, full of energy, full of joy. And I'm with you through this process. So if you'd like to chat with me, you can go to the link below and schedule a free time to chat. I'd love to help you out. Because I've been through this. Maybe not in the same way as you. Definitely not in the same way as you, but Sometimes just speaking it out and making it real is what helps heal it. So yeah, this is probably not my last video on addiction. I really think this is a huge kind of like problem in our world, and I want to help. I want to share. I want to keep getting better because, there's times that I, feel the pull back, and I have to be careful because, yeah, life can be hard, right? But it's always worth it to choose yourself and to choose life and to push forward. Love you guys, and thanks for watching this, and I hope that it helped bring some perspective to your life. And yeah, we'll talk soon.